In 1996, Lucasfilm released an ambitious multimedia Star Wars story titled Shadows of the Empire. Meant to bridge the gap between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, this story was told across novels, comic books, and a video game. One of the main characters of Shadows of the Empire is Dash Rendar, a smuggler-for-hire who flies a heavily modified Corellian YT-2400 light freighter named Outrider. In the stories, Dash Rendar takes part in the Battle of Hoth before making his own daring escape from the doomed rebel base. Later, he's commissioned by Princess Leia to take part in the search for Han Solo. Now, almost 20 years after Shadows of the Empire, Dash Rendar and his Outrider have appeared once again, this time as a rebel large ship for the X-Wing miniatures game. The YT-2400 has a turret primary weapon, which was a fairly rare commodity prior to Wave 5. Now, there are 3 ships in the game with turrets: the YT-1300, the VT-49 Decimator, and the YT-2400. However, the YT-2400 has some other advantages over those ships that will make it a very interesting addition to Rebel squadrons. The YT-2400 has an amazing maneuver dial. It has every available regular maneuver except for a Speed 5 straight. Although it only has one K-turn option, the fact that it's at Speed 4 means that this ship can clear most enemy ships parked in front of it and come around to set up its attack. The K-turn is also the only red maneuver on the dial. The stats for all 4 pilots included are the same. This ship has an attack value of 2, agility of 2, and 5 hull and 5 shields. On the action bar, you've got focus and target lock, which are very standard for Rebel ships. Additionally, we have a first for the game: a large ship that can perform a barrel roll. Doing a barrel roll with a large ship works slightly differently than with a small ship. Instead of placing the Speed 1 straight template horizontally, it's placed vertically along the side of the ship. Because of this, the ship won't move as far to the side, but since the base is twice the size of a small ship, it still covers a decent amount of space. The YT-2400 has 3 upgrade options available to all 4 pilots. It can take a cannon, a missile, and a crew. This gives you a lot of flexibility for customization. Dash Rendar is the first unique pilot for the YT-2400. He has a pilot skill of 7 and costs 36 points. During his activation, Dash ignores obstacles while moving and can still perform an action. It's a good ability and makes piloting the large-based YT-2400 easier since you won't have to worry so much about hitting asteroids. Dash can also take an elite talent upgrade. Dash Rendar's co-pilot, Lebo, is the second unique pilot in this pack. He has a pilot skill of 5 and costs 34 points. When he's dealt a face-up damage card, he can draw a second card and choose which one to take. He can take an elite talent upgrade as well. Eden Vril has a pilot skill of 3 and costs 32 points. When he makes a primary weapon attack against a ship that has a stress token, he rolls 1 additional attack die. This ability is useful since the primary weapon attack value of 2 is low for a Rebel ship, but it's situational. You're going to need an ion cannon to be able to get a good amount of use from his ability. Wild Space Fringer is a non-unique pilot with a skill of 2 and a cost of 30. He has no ability, although unlike the YT-1300, he doesn't suffer from downgraded stats compared to the unique pilots. Because of this, he's also still fairly costly, with only 6 points between him and Dash Rendar. Lone Wolf is a unique elite talent upgrade that costs 2 points. When attacking or defending, you can reroll 1 die as long as there are no friendly ships within ranges 1 to 2. This will be a good card for flankers who like to stay away from their squadrons, but I do think that there are already better elite talents in the game for those pilots. Stay on Target is an elite talent that costs 2 points. When you reveal your dial, you can rotate it to any other maneuver with the same speed and treat it as a red maneuver. This is a great upgrade which is going to place a lot of value on pilots with high piloting skill, as well as maneuver dials that have a lot of options across a single speed. This is something that the game has needed for a while. The ability for veteran pilots to see where enemy ships are going and then change their own maneuvers to gain advantage. This card was designed by 2013 X-Wing World Champion Paul Heaver, who flew a squadron of 2 X-Wings and 2 B-Wings against a TIE swarm in the final match of that tournament. Obviously, he saw a need in the game to bring unique pilots with high skill values back into the spotlight, and this card should help make that happen. Dash Rendar is both a pilot and a crew upgrade in this expansion pack. As a crew member, he costs 2 points and can only be used on rebel ships. He lets his ship ignore obstacles when making attacks. This is a cool card since it means that both versions of Dash Rendar let you ignore obstacles either during movement or combat, but you can't have both of them at the same time, so you'll need to decide which will be more important. This upgrade was designed by 2012 World Champion Doug Kinney. Gunner is a crew upgrade that costs 5 points. It was originally included in Wave 2's Slave 1 expansion. It lets you perform a primary weapon attack after making an attack that doesn't hit. The additional wording, "you cannot perform another attack this round," is there to prevent this ability from continually repeating if you keep missing. This is a popular crew upgrade on YT-1300 builds, but I don't think it's really that good for the YT-2400. But it's still nice to have another copy of the card. Lando Calrissian is a 3-point crew upgrade usable on rebel ships only. As an action, you can roll 2 defense dice and then take tokens matching any focus or evade results. I really like how this card emphasizes his love of gambling. Lando can be either extremely useful or not useful at all. It all depends on the roll of the dice. It's good to finally have a crew version of Lando to join the crew versions of Han and Chewie. Lebo also gets a crew upgrade version. He costs 2 points and can only be used on rebel ships. As an action, you can perform a free boost and then take an ion token. This is a very interesting card. It's similar to the 4-point engine upgrade modification, which gives a ship the boost action. On a large ship, a single ion token is inconsequential, so unless you're facing enemy ships with ion weapons, this is a fantastic card. On a YT-2400, it grants the ability to both boost and barrel roll, which adds a huge amount of maneuverability to the ship. Mercenary Copilot is another crew upgrade originally seen in the Slave 1 expansion. It costs 2 points and lets you change a hit to a crit when attacking at range 3. Proton rockets are a new type of missile upgrade which seem designed specifically to give the A-Wing and TIE Advanced a cheap, powerful secondary weapon option. It has a printed value of 2 and requires a focus token to fire at range 1, but you can roll additional attack dice equal to your ship's agility up to a maximum of 3 additional dice. On an A-Wing or TIE Advanced, this means a total of 5 attack dice. Heavy Laser Cannon has been in the game for a while now. It comes with both the Lambda-class shuttle and the Slave 1 expansion packs. It costs 7 points and rolls 4 attack dice at ranges 2 to 3. Immediately after rolling, any crit results are changed to regular hits. It is worth noting, however, that any crits obtained via rerolls from a spent target lock, for example, won't be changed to normal hits. This is a very expensive upgrade that's capable of dishing out a lot of damage. Countermeasures is a large ship-only modification upgrade. It costs 3 points and can be discarded at the start of combat to increase your ship's agility by 1 until the end of the round. It also discards an enemy target lock at the end of the round. This seems somewhat costly for a one-time use card, especially since it might not end up doing any good at all. I'd be happier if instead of increasing agility, it gave its ship an evade token. There are 2 copies of this upgrade in this expansion. Experimental Interface is a unique modification that costs 3 points and lets you perform a free action from any upgrade card with the action header and then receive a stress token. This is a great card that has a lot of good combo potential in the game right now and will only get better as new cards are added. Finally, you get 1 new title upgrade with this expansion. As expected, it's Dash Rendar's Outrider. It costs 5 points and allows you to fire cannon secondary weapons in a 360-degree arc. However, you cannot perform attacks using your primary weapon. What this means is that we have the first ship in the game that can fire a heavy laser cannon in any direction. Now the drawback to that setup is that at range 1 you can't attack anything, but there are ways around that. With Lebo as a co-pilot, the Outrider can put extra distance between itself and a target by boosting and barrel rolling away. You can also equip anti-pursuit lasers to discourage enemy ships from getting too close. This makes the Outrider a truly unique ship in X-Wing. With Dash Rendar piloting it, Lebo on board, and a heavy laser cannon, you've got a large ship that can fly through obstacles with no penalty, has unprecedented maneuverability for a large ship, and can fire one of the most powerful weapons in the game in a 360-degree arc. I'd probably give Dash veteran instincts as well to make sure he moves late in the activation phase. This build costs 51 points, but gives you a highly versatile gunboat capable of darting around the board and dishing out heavy attacks. I've always thought that the Outrider was one of the coolest expanded universe ships, and Dash Rendar is an interesting character even if he is basically a carbon copy of Han Solo, right down to his modified Corellian freighter. I feel like the designers have done a good job putting this ship into X-Wing. I'll be honest, when I first saw the announcement, and that this would be another large rebel ship with a turret primary weapon, I really wondered what they could do to make it stand apart from the Millennium Falcon. Looking at the final product, I'm very happy with the results. Although it probably won't be a very competitive build, I'm looking forward to flying a squadron composed of both the Outrider and the Falcon. Thanks for watching the Cardboard Dungeons X-Wing ship reviews. See you next time.